Europe has to be very careful. They're doing a lot of things. We want to keep Europe Europe. Europe is going in some bad directions. It's very bad for the people. We don't want Europe to change so much. They're going in some very bad direction.
And that we don't really know, because we don't really know to which extent the Americans are not going to act on this. We know, and that is hardly news, that they have another view of Russian aggression against Ukraine than we have. They don't have a particular keen interest in the issues of European security, the concerns that we have as Europeans. We've seen them backing away from support for Ukraine, and we've seen them being rather tolerant, to put it mildly, of Russian behavior. And that is also said fairly explicitly in their new national security strategy. Then, of course, they have a number of statements about domestic affairs in Europe that are sort of wildly extremist, I have to say. And they want to support what they call patriot forces in Europe. Remains to be seen what they will do. Will European diplomats run around at fringe and extremist meetings in Europe, making speeches supporting bizarre parties? We'll see. We'll have to take it as it comes. I think the strategy is hardly likely to strengthen the relationship across the Atlantic. It sort of codifies that the Americans have a different approach to quite a number of issues, including the transatlantic relationship. I mean, the transatlantic relationship used to be based on common values. That is difficult to find here. It used to be based on a common appreciation of the interests that we have, and that is sort of somewhat milder, to put it mildly, in this particular document. We still have a relationship that is based on sort of a transactional thing that Trump likes, sort of a trade agreement, and some other agreements, and some other joint efforts in a number of areas that's going to be there. But we don't see in this particular document the commitment that we've had in the past to common values and common interests. That is not there. So the relationship is certainly going to be there, but it's likely to be different. Well, what we will be concerned with when it comes to Russia is, of course, the future of their aggression with Ukraine. I mean, whether they will agree to some sort of deal now, that remains to be seen, what's going to be the nature of that particular deal, and whether they see it just as some temporary thing until they are prepared to sort of resume hostilities against Ukraine or against other European countries. We simply don't know. We hear different things coming out of Moscow. You can hear sometimes the Russian diplomats saying that there's certainly no designs on anything else but Ukraine. But if you look at Russian television, you can see sort of the wildest statements about the aggressive intention against the rest of Europe. So we don't know. We'll have to prepare ourselves, and accordingly you see a significant beefing up of European defense efforts in order to be prepared to counter and deter any further stupidities from the Russian side.